Welcome back. The players dead on their feet. Manchester United won, Leeds won. Missed opportunity maybe for fourth place. You'd have to say on paper it was. But look, let's start this straight away. I think at the moment, Manchester United fans, you, me, Kev, everybody across the world, I think we are victims at the moment of what is looking more and more like a civil war at Manchester United. I think the problem we have here, the problem we're facing is today we saw Rúben Amorim basically saying to the board, I haven't got players, so I'm not going to make the changes because I haven't got players. Now, is that right? Is that wrong? I'm going to say it's wrong to a certain extent because I think at the end, when Dorgu was knackered, Dorgu couldn't run. Seriously looked like he played for fucking 4 weeks. Who else? Casemiro was knackered. Cunha was knackered.
Sesco was struggling a bit as well.
I just wonder if that's the time you put a bit of pace on these young lads who have got the confidence of youth to just run. Absolutely run. So I think on that point, I do think Amorim maybe made an error there in doing that. But the goal's not on Amorim. Goal's not on Amorim. And look, the change happens. We go and get the equaliser straight away. The players, I think, are a lot more tired than people are making out. They've played a lot of football over the past couple of weeks. We've a lot of players missing. It's excuses, of course it is. It's not an excuse for Amorim because I genuinely think he should have made changes towards the end there. Last sort of 5 or 10 minutes, bring a bit of freshness on there. I don't know, Kev. I don't know. Look, like before the game, let's be honest, we were all expecting to lose that or draw.
I wasn't expecting much, no.
We weren't expecting much. And Leeds finished very well towards the end because they had the substitutions.
We were 40 to 1 to win that match.
But Leeds had the substitutions as well. They could bring on the attacking players. We started that game with 7 defenders. Mm-hmm. 7 defenders. I don't know, man. Look, we've got Burnley as well in a couple of days. When's that, Wednesday? Is it Wednesday or is it Thursday? I think it's Wednesday. Are these players going to be able to do this? Are the players going to be able to perform to the best of their levels with how tired they are? I don't know.
It's on Sky.
It's on Sky, is it? So Carl says, why is everyone fuming? The manager made one attacking sub. It worked straight away with the team. I'm content with a point, and after going on down, I thought we'd lose, to be honest.
Yeah, I didn't think we'd come back.
Wahaha says, I'm guessing his inability to be flexible after his formation clearly isn't working well enough yet again. I think he could have changed. I do agree with that. I think he could have changed the formation earlier. I think we could have gone with that back four, and I think that would have helped bring in the younger lads on. Carl says, this is a Leeds team that has beat Chelsea, drew with Liverpool twice, beat Palace, and drew with Sunderland. Leeds look good today.
Yeah, bit of context.
Anthony says, missing players, those we had needed to step up, and they did, but only when we went behind. Not good enough from the players, says Anthony. Fair enough. Carl says, we beat those teams with a full squad of players. Let's not lose sight of that, people. Let's not lose sight of the fact that let's not lose sight of people. We weren't any better with a full squad against similar teams. Again, we go back to if you granted we don't know. I mean, look, would it have been different with
Ahmad and
Brian and Mazraoui? I think it probably would have been. Yeah,
and Bruno
and
Maguire.
It's a big thing, isn't it? We should beat those teams with what was on the pitch, says Adam. I'm not sure, I'm not sure. Oh, God, he fell over there. He did that against Wolves last minute, got slated for it. No, Anthony, I think the reason he got slated against Wolves,
bringing the young lads
I don't think it was for the youngsters. I think it was the fact he didn't change the formation until the 75th minute. Are we just expecting too much of a squad that, as a whole, is still not good enough, apart from a few players? Probably so, Carl. Probably so. Thinking Dorgu can play in number 10 role is pig-headed and stuck in his ways. Adam, who are you playing in the 10? Who are you playing instead of Dorgu? Who are you starting instead of Dorgu in this game in the 10? Who are you starting? Put it in the comment. I want to know. Was it, guys, only 2 shots at these goals? No, we didn't. We had 15 shots. So I don't know where this 2 shots is coming from. I think Waha has maybe played with your mind a bit there. We had 15 shots. So it's not a case of that. We had shots. We had chances. I don't know. I think we're a bit too negative here. I do. I think we're.
Yeah, I agree. We need to do a little bit of reflection.
Yes, Leeds squad is better today. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. And if you can sit there and say to me, with the bench they had, with the 11 they had, that we are better, then I don't know what we're doing here, because there's no comparison. Leeds had the better squad today. Yeah, I agree with that. 15 shots on. No, we had 15 shots on goal, Steve-O. They're not always going to go on target. We had shots, but good created opportunities. Okay, with very few. I don't know, guys. Look, I don't know. I think we expected after the first half to just go on and steamroller this. You got to remember, Leeds made 5 changes. Yeah. All of them, bar one, were attacking. That's what they could do.
That changed the game.
And it did change the game. It put us on the back foot. I saw Cunha out on his feet, struggling. I saw Casemiro absolutely knackered. Dorgu had taken a couple of clatterings. The one that will get the one that gets escaped from me is fucking Xerxes again, because yes, he did well. He did the assist, but Xerxes fucking jogging around there like he's just. There's no explosiveness from him. There's no explosiveness from Xerxes, and I don't like it. I don't like it.
It was a bit off the pace. He just needs to do more.
He loses the ball. He loses the ball in the middle. The lad runs off and he just jogs.
He didn't sprint back after it.
Honestly, I'll make this statement right now. Xerxes will look mint in Italy because there's not as much running. There's not as much running. There isn't. So Xerxes, a couple of nice little touches we're seeing here. Let's have a look.
They're bigging him up.
Of course they will. Yeah, they will do, won't they? They will do. But I didn't see enough for him off the ball. Off the ball is just as important on the ball. That chance from Sesko, man. Sesko should have won that game for us. I will say that Sesko's shooting was poor today. Ball back. I thought Sesko was poor today with his hold-up play. Very good.
They're actually saying he's played quite well.
Of course they are. They're going to get it to me. But I think Sesko's finishing.
They're giving us the proof as well here at the moment.
Well, yeah, but you can pick out any combination of him passing the ball, but off the ball, he doesn't do enough.
They're going forward, but he did all right.
Doesn't do enough for me off the ball.
Out defensively.
Is the tide turning for Sesko? Yeah, look, Sesko did very well at holding the ball up, bringing players into play. Full 90 minutes. His shooting wasn't great today. There was that header he had. Yeah, there was a header he had when it was offside. He didn't know it was offside, and it's pulverised wide, isn't it? If we had a Mateta or Watkins, would the outcome be different? Again, if you granted balls, we don't know, do we? Yeah. It's easy for us to sit. Mateta's not having a great season. How many goals has Mateta got this season? 4? So he's not having a great season by any means. But look, the main thing is here, chat. Manchester United finish the game on 5th. Now, Chelsea are playing away at Manchester City. Liverpool are away at Fulham.
So Chelsea are going nowhere.
The thing with this, I will say, is if Liverpool win at Fulham, they extend the lead to 5 points, the gap to 5 points. So I'm kind of... Is that in all competitions? Wahaha. Is that in all competitions? I'm talking Prem, mate. If it is all competitions, fair enough. I've been watching him in the games, though, and he makes a lot of runs and nobody tries to find him. 9 out of 10, Sesko. Yeah. There was... How many times in the first half did Dorgu have the ball and he made the run, he turns around and he's like, fucking hell, Dorgu, come on.
You see, if we'd have got through to this point in the season with Sesko playing all of the matches, I think the team would have started to click in with the runs. He's making a little bit more, but he's not. He's just been 2 in and out of the team because of the injury.
Mateta's got 8 in the Prem.
Does he play the penalties as well?
He's never got 8 in the Prem. Surely not. I stand corrected. I'm fucking wrong. Get Mateta in right now.
In the orthopedic shoes.
Get Mateta in right now. Fair enough. Well, there you go then. Maybe it would have been different with Mateta.
Chelsea are not going to win. I don't see Sunderland winning today. Chelsea are not going to beat City.
Don't say that. No, what?
Who did you say Sunderland were against?
Sunderland are away at Spurs. I don't know. I'm not going to sit here and scream and shout.
I'm just looking at who could go past us here.
I agree with that one. Sunderland can go past us. Chelsea can go past us. That's it. Oh, can Everton? No, Everton. No. Unless they win by 4. What has us? I think we need a new manager. We really have absolutely no right looking at keeping up with Liverpool this season with squad difference. No, I agree with that, but that's the situation we're in. Do you know something? Look, I still. This hasn't changed anything for me today. I still think that the end has come for him. I do think that the writing's on the wall. But I'm not getting thicker. And I will say this. I think again we are in the middle of a battle here between the board and the manager. I mean that's the reason he hasn't made the subs.
We need action this month. Mate.
We
need to see something happening. Not Conor Gallagher, please. Not Conor Gallagher. Yeah. I know you don't want James Garner. I don't want James Garner back at the club. I think we need to look beyond players that we've sold on.
I think
he would do a good job probably, but I don't want somebody doing a good job. I just want somebody that's going to come in and make a massive difference to the team, and that's the players we're talking about. And I don't know whether that's Balagra either, by the way. But
really,
no, because I don't know whether he's on it enough at the moment at this point in the season. But you never know. He could come across to United and go, "This is exactly where I want to be."
The thing is, you could bring him, and then you
look
push
what I
Bruno
can
forward.
do. Look what I can do.
The
massive wage would help him as well.
Not you, Carl. Made me laugh when the commentator on my stream said DCL could be. They're always going to say that. Amorim wanted Watkins. We brought Sesko. Yeah, they are polar opposites. I agree with that. We created nothing in the first half when we weren't knackered. Did we not put the ball in the back of the net that was offside? Did we not? Did we not have two headers that the keeper tipped over the bar?
Lots of clubs wanted Watkins, but none of them have gone for him because he's got no sell-on value. Yeah. That's when
I hate this. I hate this sell-on value.
But it's a valid. It is a valid point. This is how football's developed now, and there's other big clubs that need a striker. And I've heard teams and people talking about, Watkins and this and that. But no, they all want sell-on value for players. They don't just want someone that's going to come in for 2 years and then they're going to be nothing for them. He's not going to make enough of a difference.
Thing is, though, United, with the greatest respect, could buy all these players in with a sell-on, but we're shit at selling players anyway, so it doesn't fucking make any difference. Carl says, is Amorim going to be sacked for footballing reasons or people in the club thinking their dicks are bigger? That's a great comment, by the way. That is a great comment because the board, I think, have turned. I do think they've turned. It wouldn't surprise me if today they go, why didn't you bring players on? And he said, well, I haven't got anyone to bring on. I haven't got anyone to bring on. And it wouldn't. That'll be a conversation that'll happen this week, I think. And this is a great comment by Adam, by the way. This obligation to buy on loans now will stop us from getting anyone.
Yeah.
I hate this obligation to buy thing because we fell foul with Chelsea, didn't we, with Sancho? They said, no, we'll pay you 5 million instead. Look, we've got Burnley this week. And I'm going to say something here, right? I'm going to, and you can stop me at any point, Kev. You can stop me at any point. Can I go? Yeah. Right. This is what I'm going to say. Amorim today hasn't done enough for me to think the tide is turning. I don't think he has, because I will say, I think, like I've said just now, I think there is that whose cock's bigger. I'm not bringing players on. But what I will say is, for footballing reasons, he's probably bought himself more time today. I think if we'd lost that today, I think it's a different story. Going away to Burnley, we won't turn Burnley over. We're not going to have that many players back for that game. I did have a quick look before I come live chat, and apparently the only players really looking like they've got a chance of coming back for that game are Mason Mount and Mainu, possibly De Ligt. Other than that, we're waiting. We don't know what's happening with the injuries. I honestly feel like this month, I stand by what I said earlier on in the month, on the 1st, on the 2nd. I think he could go this month. I do think he could go. I think he could go, coupled with the fact that we've said we're not buying anybody. I said to you all that if we don't go and buy someone, that's them not backing him and that's them assessing their options. I think that this will rumble on. That press conference was just awkward to watch. I felt so uncomfortable watching it. And I just think to myself, there's more to be said of the story here. The full story hasn't come out. Andy says, it seems to me the players don't believe the manager and the manager doesn't believe the manager. I think there's a whole host of reasons, isn't there, Andy? Like when things aren't going right for other clubs, you look and you go, it's the manager, it's the players, the tactics. With Manchester United, I think where we are right now is we don't know what exactly is going wrong because there's so many. We know individuals, but we can't put it as a collective. Is it the board? Is it the manager? Is it the tactics? Is it the transfers? Is it the players? Something has to stick here. By some miracle, we still find ourselves in contention for a Champions League place, which just absolutely baffles me. Inconsistency in this Premier League is what is, I think, helping Amorim keep his job at the moment. I think if this was a regular season with the best of the best doing what they're doing, then I genuinely feel like we would probably be 12th, 13th. I genuinely do. That last Xerxes attempt to run, he had no one to play with anymore. They were all dead on their feet. Tried to bulldoze through, failed miserably, but he had 3 people around him. I don't. Okay, it's fair enough. Wow, that's fair enough. I'd have to watch it back, but I think he's a smart boy. I think he could have probably turned around and maybe just held onto the ball and moved it back a little bit. With what has come out, I think it's the beginning of the end for Amorim, and I think it says he's been promised more when he came in, and etc. And they are not sticking to what's been said behind the scenes. A minute earlier, Cunha had a great chance just to flip the ball, but he didn't and lost it because he's selfish. He's selfish, but he's also knackered. I'll tell you what's worse, Wahaha. This is what's worse, and I don't want to dwell on it too much. This is what's worse. Xerxes come on and looked more knackered than all the players who are out dead on their feet. He looked knackered. He didn't chase down balls properly. He would lose the ball, then just sort of jog towards. Xerxes isn't right for the Premier League. As we know, Amorim isn't right for the Premier League. And that's okay. And he will probably get his move. He probably will move on and do well in Italy. But you're not going to win a league with Xerxes. You're not going to qualify for Champions League with Xerxes. That's where my thoughts are. As Nicky Butt said, we all knew this club is rotten from the top to the bottom. Agree. Especially worse knowing you're knackered trying to do it. Right. Wow. So you're telling me that a player who is knackered trying his bollocks off is better than a player who come on at half time who isn't tired, not running and chasing off the ball? Is that what you're telling me? Because if it is, I'm worried. Glazers, the debt, Ineos, average players, even Amorim, lots of problems. Do you think there is any chance Amorim resigns? Absolutely not, because he wants the moolah, as he should. A manager, look.
And he wants to prove that he's right. He wants to prove himself.
He does want to prove he's right. He does want to prove he's right.
He wants to be the Man United manager. Who wouldn't want to be the Man United manager?
My operations manager from work has just messaged me saying Amorim out surely. Give new manager January to get players in. Well, there we go. Anything to close on there, Kev? Come on!
Don't do what was just said there. That's the most ridiculous comment ever.
What, you don't think get rid of him?
No, to give a new manager January to get new players in?
Yeah, but this is the thing, Kev.
That ain't going to work, is it? Though?
Kev, we've got money to buy players. I think the board don't want to give him players. I think that's what the problem is.
Well, that's a difference, but
I think
he needs to get through. He needs to get. The way I see a manager getting sacked is if the team are not doing. If the team start losing and are losing badly, that's the Premier League. It doesn't matter what team it is. Slot's surviving because of he's got his credit from the winning the league. And all the other managers are doing okay, apart from the one that's gone. And his team was still up there, and he's gone.
Well, let's have a look at
that might be to do with something he said about, I do want to go and be a Man City manager eventually. And then
well, I tell you what, we'll look at it this way, right? We've got 2 wins since the 4th of December. 2 wins since the 4th of December. We are now the 4th of
When did we last lose a game?
Villa, 2-1. Oh, yeah, that felt like a loss. I think there's a lot more to come from this week. And I do agree with that. I do agree with that. I don't think that.
There's no choice. We haven't no choice.
There isn't any choice.
We've got no choice.
I think anybody who plays with back forward work, but we also need more midfielders. Look, we unfortunately for Amorim, again, as much as we all want him to do well, he seems like a nice bloke. But do you know something? I worked with a guy called Terry once. Lovely bloke. Couldn't type to save his fucking life. Had to stop him from fucking watching horse racing whilst we were working. Lovely bloke, though. It doesn't always work, okay? We need a manager, I feel like, who is adaptable to situations. And unfortunately, the only adaptability we see from Amorim is if we go behind or if there's nothing else to do. A manager needs to be able to switch things up. He won't do it. I still feel like he goes before the end of January. And do you know something? Shout out to Jake, I will say this. If the option was there, if the board genuinely don't back him enough and they're saying, look, we're not going to buy in players because at the moment we don't think this is sustainable, but we'll bring a new manager in and we'll give them some funds to bring at least 1 or 2 players in, I would be behind that. But look, who knows? Final thoughts?
Yeah, whatever's best for the club. Nobody likes to see managers getting sacked. Absolutely not. It's just like a merry-go-round. But whatever's best for the club, just for us to, we need to be in Europe next season, whatever form that takes. I think whatever form that takes. That's just my opinion. I think Champions League might be a push for us anyway, and we would need a lot of players in the summer if we actually did. But maybe that would be the driver for us to go and get some more players if we do get into the Champions League. There'll be money there and all the rest of it. But I'm not negative. I don't feel bad about that result. I thought, as somebody said in the comments, once we went 1-0 down, we were either losing or it was a 2 or a 3-0 there. But we didn't. Yeah. We got the goal back straight away, and Leeds were right on us at the end. They made 5 substitutions, fresh legs. All came on and made a difference and pushed us right back. So, yeah, tiny bit disappointed that we didn't win, but I'm always disappointed when we don't win because I always want them to win. But the fundamentals, I said to you in the little break there, You win your home matches and you try and draw your away matches, and that's what we've done.
I agree. Xerxes is a choice, but we slap a defender up there. If the manager goes, Mainu's not going anywhere. Mainu for me, I think, has decided he wants to get his head down and work. Again, he doesn't have an yeah, I agree with that with Xerxes. He doesn't have an ounce of defensive instinct in him, but he needs to be smarter. He needs to be smarter.
But he needs to have it. He needs to have the defensive instinct.
Moxie says this is how bad our fan base is becoming. We are 5th compared to last season. We should have had more points, but it's night and day from then. I do think when the players back, we will settle.
Yep.
No.
It's a little bit of voice of reason, same as me.
No, I disagree with it. Moxie,
disagree.
I disagree. And this is why I disagree. If, with the players back, if he switched it to a 4-2-3-1, then yes, I agree. I think we would settle, and I think we would be a better team completely. With the players coming back in that formation that he continues to play, I don't. I think we'll still be that inconsistent side. And I go back to, mate, what I said before. We're only 5th because other teams around us have shit the bed. I don't want toxicity in the fan base, and I agree with that. But at the same time, 5th could have been 4th. These errors that he's made with in-game management during the season, 4th could have been 3rd.
We controlled Leeds.
We didn't control Leeds, Ruben. We didn't control.
Thinks we controlled.
Tell me he didn't just say we control. Hang on, chat. I need to get this. I need to listen to this. Let's listen to what he's saying. He's just said we controlled Leeds. Hang on a second. Let's just have a listen to this. Because Amorim's saying that we controlled the game. I don't think we controlled the game at all. My next question, who comes in? I've told you, a permanent. There are conversations. You could look at an Iraola. You could look at a Glasner if you wanted to. There are managers out there. I bring Ollie. I bring interim until the end of the season. So Amorim said we played well. We have more control in the game against Wolverhampton. I agree with that. I don't think we control them well. I don't think we controlled Leeds well. So Amorim's saying we controlled Leeds well. We did have opportunities. You're right there, son.
We had the most possession.
We had more attempts than Leeds. 15 attempts to 10. So Amorim is saying, I didn't say Glasner was my favourite. I said Iraola. I said Glasner would be an option because he's obviously going to leave, Carl, I think. As if they're going in on Aiden Heaven, man. As if they're going in on Aiden Heaven. He will definitely switch to a 4-2-3-1 to get everyone fit again, he thinks. Moxie, if he does that, then he buys himself time, but I'm worried, mate. I'm worried he won't. You carry on listening to that because he's boring me. I don't think he will. I don't think it's in him to switch it. I think when he gets the players back, he will stick with what he's doing. I do. I genuinely do. I don't see there being a situation. I don't see.
Josh played well as well.
Of course, he thinks Josh plays well.
Igate's playing better.
Igate was decent. Igate
had the most tackles.
Sorry, lads. Sorry, let me get back into this chat a second. Fair Heaven almost cost us conceding second goal against Wolves. Yeah, but he's 19. Wow. We haven't got anybody else we can play there. He plays 4-2-3-1, Carl. 4-2-3-1. I've gone through that one. He's good until he has to be physical. I don't know. I thought he out-muscled Calvert-Lewin a few times today. Heaven, I thought he out-muscled him.
He played well apart from this individual error.
Against Villa, I thought he out-muscled Watkins a few times. But guys, I won't get Mike Bassett in for fucking tea. Guys, look, there we are. There we are with it. It has been an intriguing afternoon. I think we need to look at what we had available to us. I still think that you should have brought the kids on towards the end.
Maybe next week.
Heaven shouldn't be playing as much as he has. Simple as. No, he shouldn't, but the injuries won't allow that, Carl.
No choice, yeah. No choice.
But we will see. We will see. We're 5th in the table as it stands. There's plenty more football to come. I'll see you for the Cameroon and South Africa game later on. Other than that, guys, make sure you smash a like. It's Amorim out, but not quite yet. We will see you on the flip side. Dan United. Kev United.
Ta-da.